Alrighty, guys, we're here with episode 18. We got Billy from the Game Chasers.
Let's give him an applause.
Alrighty. We got the regular crew here today. We got Chris, we got Riff, and we got Ricky and myself. And we want to go into our first one. It's the real toll of YouTube. But Riff, do you want to give us a little bit of background?
I want Billy to just kind of start off before we do anything. So we give ourselves credit a lot on the show. Like, we're one of the first OGs of game hunting. But you were before us by a year and a half? What year were you?
Oh my God, we've all been doing that for this long.
I was 2012.
Wow. It was actually technically, I guess, like 2010.
Okay.
Yeah. About May-ish or March or something like that. Yeah. No, I've been doing it for my God, for that long apparently. I just got my inspiration from, actually, funny enough, little known fact, there was a YouTuber called Dinky Dana.
I talk about Dinky Dana.
No, you don't.
Someone just the other day asked me, who was the first YouTuber you can think of that was collecting games? And I said, I think it's Dinky Dana.
He did a he was just like did a video where he was out in the street and said, hey, I'm gonna go pick up this blah blah blah. I don't even remember what it was, video game related, and we're gonna go on the journey. And I'm like, well, that's a fun little journey. I want to go along on that journey. And I'm like, oh, that'd be cool. And then we had already been watching like American Pickers, and I'm like, oh, doing video games, but then like doing it kind of like in the style of like an American Pickers, sort of like polished.
It is crazy that you guys you came in so early. So you would think you guys came in jank, right? Because
what's jank?
Crappy, just filming, camera shaking. But you guys came in hot.
Yeah, I mean, I have a video background, and like but the funny thing is, like, I still look at those old episodes, and I'm like, that sucks. That I shouldn't have done that. It's funny though. Pat the NES punk, he loves to think that I got the inspiration for Game Chasers for Flea Market Madness.
Yep.
I didn't, Pat. Which camera's on? That camera?
Yeah, straight ahead.
I didn't, Pat. I really, really didn't. I swear, like, I didn't even know you existed. Well, I knew you existed, but I didn't know Flea Market Madness existed until we started. So.
One of the first times we met him at a convention, we were like, hey, Pat, like, where he's like, I know you guys. He's like, kind of like giving us a hard time. Like, he's like, hey, you got that Flea Market Madness wannabe show. And I was like, what the heck, bro? I was like, okay, I'll take that.
I could kind of see I could picture his sideways glance as he's saying it.
Oh yeah. He's got his Pat glare. What like made you pull the trigger on being like, I'm gonna do it? Because I know that there's so many people who have wanted it. I've been thinking about it for years, this and that. But what made you be like, I'm doing this, I'm going for it?
So I'd been working on just my job, my corporate videos and stuff, and then everything kind of slowed down because the economy crashed in 2008. Or whenever it was.
2008, yeah.
Yeah. Everything just started to just basically crash, and our production house started to lose work, and I had some more time on my hands, and so I'd been watching YouTubers doing videos on retro games, and I love retro games. I love making videos. Why not combine the two? So I started doing that like at the first part of 2000. Actually, I did a video 2009. No, 2010. October 2010 is when I made the first. I actually created the channel, and I made a video. And funny enough, I don't think I've ever talked about this. Actually, funny enough, but I did like a video like my top 5 favorite NES games, because that kind of thing mattered back then.
It was huge.
Yeah, exactly. And I had the NES box here, and at the end of the video, I get up and I have no pants on. Nope, I have no pants on, and I'm like, it's going to be great. I go, it's going to be great. I'll just blur out the video. I'll blur out like that part of it. It'll be great. Because nobody ever does a top 5 NES video with no pants on. Nobody does that. No. I'll be like the first.
Definitely not, Billy.
I will be the first. And I never uploaded that video.
No.
Yeah, I never uploaded that video.
Rick would be the first no underwear creator.
It's been a good 12 years since I wore underwear. It's funny, when you said October 2010, we started October 2012. So we were exactly 2 years apart.
2 years. But so I did like just regular videos. I think it was the All Gen podcast. We did a video,
I remember that.
Did a contest video. And then a few videos, just didn't really know what we're gonna do. I was just kind of throwing stuff up there, and most of it sucked. Well, all of it sucked. And one day, I think in April or May or whatever, or March, we decided to do Game Chasers, and then threw up the first episode.
Wow!
Did it take off right away?
Right away, yeah, I
Did.
did.
It did.
You know, relatively speaking, you know, in that it's just so hard to compare today's YouTube with YouTube back
People
then.
don't understand that
It's-
though. A lot of people do not get it.
Yeah.
Because the amount of people that are consuming YouTube now is unfathomably large versus back in the day that people consuming YouTube was unfathomably lower. So to hit 100K, to hit 50K, even 30K back then was like, oh my gosh, wow, like you're crushing it because it was a completely different
Do you
world.
remember how many views you got on the first video you uploaded?
Oh man, a few thousand, but that was huge.
Huge.
Like, and I remember like guys I looked up to, like Johnny Millennium, Gamester 81, who had 20 to 30,000 subscribers, and they were commenting on the video. Pete Dorr, they're commenting on the video, and I'm like, literally fanboying out. I mean, oh
Yep.
my god, this is amazing! Like, this is the best thing ever. Like, they're you know, they're noticing us. Like, these guys who have been doing this for a long time, they have so many subscribers, and they're noticing us, and I'm just like going crazy.
I remember having the same sentiment
Yeah.
when you guys would start commenting on our stuff.
Yeah.
You know what? A little unknown fact here. I don't know which one it was, but the first YouTuber person to ever comment on our stuff was Melvor. He commented on it was like a top again.
Was it nice? Was it?
Yeah,
a
it
nice
was very nice.
Yeah, that's must be nice to get nice comments from him.
Yeah, it was
Usually
very
when
nice.
he-
It was like, wow, I really see something with this channel or something, and I was like, oh man, it's the guy from the Game Chasers.
he trolls me, so
I've seen those. He's always like, why did these videos suck so bad?
yeah.
Now, how hard was it to like kind of stay consistently uploading the content that you did, like when you first
It
started?
wasn't hard because you know whenever you put up that first video and people just immediately are like, and again that was the first part that was early on in YouTube. Usually you didn't really see something that was kind of that polished, quote unquote, and so people were just taken aback a little bit and get really excited about, oh, this is America. Because I remember I would watch American Pickers, and I would sometimes see things like in the background. They're looking at like oil signs and motorcycles
Cans
and
and,
stuff, and there were episodes where I've seen like nerdy stuff in the background.
Me too.
Yeah,
A big video game neon sign one time, and I flipped, and they didn't even mention it.
Exactly. And so I'm like, oh God, get that. What's wrong with you? and so like I'm like I really wanted to see a show like that.
Yeah.
So I wanted to see a show like that, and I think when it comes to creation, it's like, you know, make things that you would want to see, and I think that's where you kind of stay true to everything. I wanted to see a show about people going out and looking for like nerdy stuff, and video games being the most nerdy stuff that I, you know, at that time was into. It just seemed, you know, only natural. And then when people like got on board and was like, this is amazing. No, it made it like energizing. It was very energizing because now you know that you have something that people enjoy and you love making it. So it made the process of making it, you know, enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to be on topic like with this, is there a toll now that you've been doing it for so many years to like keep on producing that content?
Oh, for sure. 100%.
And if so, my follow up on that was like, for how long? Like, what was
Yeah.
the point where like you felt like, because you know it's energetic. There's people. Everyone's like, look at these guys. They're.
I feel like
it.
we all hit our peaks and then we hit our lows and we hit our mids, but like, you know,
Right. Oh, I don't.
mid low trash. You're terrible, Chris.
I don't know if I could pinpoint a moment, but just to clarify,
Yeah.
like the energy from when you put up an episode and people are just like ecstatic that you've put that up and go, oh man, you've made my night, you know, you've made my evening. I have something to watch now. That never leaves. That's always there. But, you know, it's just, you know, after 10, 11 years, 12 years, you know, it gets to the point where you're like, you know, maybe that creative spark is not as strong as it used to be. And that just happens. And you know, we did the movie and stuff. That was really, you know, for me, it was a need to just kind of like do something else,
I get that.
you know, so.
Yeah.
Can I go back even a little bit further? How do you and Jay know each other? Are you guys lifelong friends? Did you grow up together?
Boyfriends.
I thought this was a Christian show.
There we go.
Yes, boyfriends. No,
Answer yes.
we grew up in Blockbuster as boyfriends. We worked at Blockbuster. I got a job at Blockbuster, and he was already working there, and this was maybe like 98, 98ish,
That's
somewhere
so
around
cool.
there. So yeah.
Oh, so way before, like 12 years before you ever put out a video, you guys were friends. Gotcha.
Yep.
Were you guys like best buds, or were you guys like basically so like Ricky and I, like we were best friends. We were like, let's start this together. Were you guys like good friends? But then when you're like, hey, we should start a show together. This guy who's maybe not necessarily my best buddy, and you guys got closer from there.
Well, so
Or
I'm
what?
a loser. So
Curtis knows.
I keep my circle small. It was just kind of like, yeah, friends come and go sort of thing. And, some people fall off the face of the earth. You never hear from them again. We just kind of stayed in contact, stayed friends, stayed hanging out, and literally just sitting down, just hanging out, watching American Pickers on TV. And where I'm like, but we had planned on, like, we had thought about doing like other stuff before that. Like we had an idea to kind of do it because we had like a really extremely fit. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Weight challenged friend.
A fat friend.
Yes, fat friend.
Yeah, we all have a Curtis.
Only we're allowed to put you down. You can't put yourself down. It hurts. Yeah.
Like extremely to the point where like he's going to the doctor and they're saying you better lose some weight. And so we were like, hey, it'd be cool. Like this, and this guy was like a hoot. He was one of those type of guys where everybody just wanted to be around him. Everybody wanted to.
That's cool.
Be his friend. He was one of those type of guys. So he made the perfect type of guy to kind of like center a documentary around and be like, hey, let's take this guy, our friend, and try to get him to lose a couple 100 pounds and like go through that journey. And we knew it was going to be an absolute train wreck, and would be part of like the charm of the documentary. And we were getting into that. We were going to do that, and he just basically just like blew us off. Like he was gung ho about it. Yeah, let's do it. And then just but funny thing is, that was part of his personality to begin with, part of what we were trying to harness and kind of showcase in the documentary. But it ended up being the detriment because he was like just flaky, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess the best word you could
Describe
it.
Did you know that our spark moment to start was from you guys? Like that moment where we were like, okay, we're doing this. And yes, we were watching you guys. You guys are retro hunters.
So
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I picture, I don't know why I picture it, but
What do you picture?
Yeah. Okay. So y'all two were on a Ferris wheel.
Oh, wow. Yes, so far correct.
And you got to the high point and you go, we should make a video game show.
Yes, that's exactly.
Dang, nailed it.
We were in his living room, and we've been watching you guys in the Retro Hunters, and we've been talking about maybe we should start a show. And then we saw the episode where you guys like called Pat about the miracle piano, and something about that. Ricky and I were like, dude, we found 3 of these this week. We're like, that's it. Like, we're buying a camera, we're starting a show, and that was the moment that launched us. So, speaking of, funny question, what did you think when we came around? Were you like, these guys are just they'll pass by? Honestly, were you like, these guys are gonna drop out in a month? Or were you like, they're cool, or I don't like them? Plenty of people told me they didn't like me when they met me, so you can say it if it's real.
I honestly don't remember.
Okay.
Like legitimately don't.
That hurts
remember.
more. That hurts way more, Billy. But I'll take it.
I don't remember yesterday though.
Oh, that's okay.
Now that
I really don't remember. Like I didn't have an issue with you. I was like,
Okay.
that's cool. More people are doing what we're doing. Hopefully one day they don't do it better than us.
That'll never happen. Don't
That'll
worry.
never happen. So to me, like more people doing that, you're creating like a community.
Totally.
So it's like that community, it kind of feeds off of each other.
Yeah.
And so I don't really exactly remember what I was thinking when I first saw it for the
Got
first
it.
time.
We left no impact on your life. Thank you.
Well,
I'll take it. The honest.
well,
by the way,
not at that moment.
True. We give you a headache later, I'm sure.
Yes.
At some point.
For sure.
You know who hasn't said a word? Ricky. Do you have anything to ask this fine specimen?
Yeah, I always wondered, like, we always get, like, people, like, compliment, like, oh, dude, I'll watch you, but we made our own competition. Back in the day, did you make your own competition pretty much by doing this?
Basically, did you go to flea markets and like, hey, thanks, we found this for you?
You know, a lot of people will say that, like, you know, we'll upload a video and then people will be like, or we won't find anything, or, you know, we'll just be like coming up with nothingness, and people will be like, well, it's their own fault, they created the environment. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't.
Ferris wheel, they say.
Like, I don't think so. Like that's like retro gaming. The nostalgia, the community of retro gaming is so much bigger than just us. Like us, we're just like
A little speck.
you know, the people that want like us are people that like retro games. Mm. They enjoy bickering and they enjoy farting.
Yeah.
Okay,
You
I will
just
say-
named
so
off like the whole song right
that's
there.
Yeah.
that's a very small percentage. So no, that very small percentage was not the reason for the big, you know, the big explosion of retro. You know, the retro gaming. You know, I guess competition or
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I will
So-
say though, I knew like Little Samson and Flintstone's Surprise at Dinosaur Peak. I feel like that's when everybody heard about it, which again, that's no shame. I knew it was expensive. I knew it was valuable, but I feel like that's when like, and to this day, I don't know if it's called giving you credit or what it is, but I feel like to this day, Little Samson is like the game on the NES. And I credit it back to you guys finding it because I feel like that was such a big moment in the
Yeah.
retro scene.
Did you find both of those in Game Exchange? One, I know you found the
One at the flea market.
Flintstones.
So no, Flintstones was at
Game Exchange.
Yeah, the Little Samson that I ended up giving to Jay was actually at the flea market.
Well, I found a Little Samson at the flea market, which is why I ended up.
What'd you
That'd be
pay?
Nice.
I paid $4.
What'd you pay? $15.99.
No,
$18.99.
No,
Less than
10.
4? 10. Let's go.
Hey,
I scored.
but do we need to adjust for inflation though?
True. Inflation adjustment.
Yeah, I paid $4 for mine. $4.
Wow.
Now your channel has been pretty tried and true to like what its image is. Do you have any like creative direction that you want to pursue in like in the future with it?
I want to do more movies.
With like with the
nice.
boys?
Yeah, no, it's just I enjoy it. I like making content. I love making things that people enjoy. I love people making things that people like will literally like set things aside to watch. You know, however big or small that those amount of people might be, they exist. The one thing I don't like dealing with is YouTube and the algorithm,
The
and
game.
all that stuff. I hate it so much.
Yeah, you're pretty, you stick to your guns with like how you produce your content, but it's
No, I don't. Now,
it's really great.
well, I have, but nowadays it's like I'm trying to like anything. I'll do any little thing. Like I don't know. Even if it comes to a thumbnail, it's like, what can I do to make this be okay in the algorithm to where it's not gonna like YouTube isn't gonna like just because I have people like saying, oh, this just didn't show up in like your my notifications or whatever and like all that stuff, and I'm like, oh my god, what are we doing? What are we doing wrong? Mm-hmm. And so that I just don't like. That's just mental juices that could be used towards something else that I don't want to deal with.
Yeah.
Like I just want to make stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with all that stuff.
Yeah, a lot of the big dogs who are putting
Yeah.
out content, who are getting those views, and not obviously there's tiny teams as well, but a lot of people are hiring people like you do the media side of it. You make sure that it gets seen by YouTube. You do the analytics, which obviously you have to have a team to do that and the money. But there's a lot of people who obviously grow. Like you've seen that guy Sam Solik,
I love
muscle
him. Yeah,
lifting
he's
guy,
cool.
weightlifting guy.
I'm not familiar with.
There's a guy on YouTube right now who's kind of took everything that we.
Is
YouTube's-
that the guy with the like long hair?
Yep.
And
He's
buff
just
as heck.
huge, man.
he's got like acne because of the
no
the
thumbnails,
roids.
no edits.
He's on everything.
No, nothing. He uploads a video, raw footage, whatever thumbnail's there, and he's just broke the internet. So everyone's like, what? Like, how is this? Because if you think about what's called Mr. Beastification of YouTube, it's crazy edits, crazy thumbnails, wild, wild, wild. That's how we get views.
But didn't he do a thing like recently where like he closed his mouth and like apparently it got more views? Like wasn't that?
Oh, I saw something on
I had
that.
no
That was
idea on
Mr.
that
Beast. You're talking about Mr.
Yeah, Mr.
Beast.
Beast, yeah.
He did like a thumbnail, mouth open, mouth closed kind of comparison to see.
Oh,
what
because
was
the mouth
better.
open has been so
Yeah,
popularized.
something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
Can I ask you back in the day, like one of our business partners with SoCal Gaming Expo, and one of my longtime partners with Retro World is Lance Cortez, who is one of the founders of RetroWare TV. Like, how much did that help the algorithm and the growth of like you and maybe even Norm and Pat? Like early on, Like, walk me through the history of how you guys like even got involved with Retroware
Right.
TV and kind of all came together with that.
So Retroware TV was something I was actually watching before we even started the channel. So I would watch things like Video Game Takeout, and some of the other shows like Happy Video Game Nerd. He would actually post there a lot too. And so I was familiar with the videos they were putting up there, and we came across. And actually, Pat was the first person that approached us and said, "Hey, I think you guys would be good," because I think he had just joined the site and he was starting to be, I guess, a recruiter or something like that for the site. And so he was, "Hey, you guys want to be a part of it?" And I was actually like, at the first, I was like, "Yes, dude, that's awesome," because I've been watching you guys. It's funny because I'd be doing my corporate video, my little nook, editing videos and stuff, or talking heads of Allstate and various local lawyers and all that stuff. It's great work. It pays the bills, but it's not exactly for
hard to be passionate about
exactly. And but while something may be like rendering or I couldn't do anything else, I would be watching like YouTube videos. I'd be watching RetrowareTV.com. I'd be watching these videos, and so this was way before I actually started making those type of videos on my own. And so when we started making those videos, and we started Pat emailed me, and then Lance Cortez and John DeLay, they emailed me, and we started rubbing elbows with guys like James Rolfe and stuff. It was like a freaking amazing, huge deal at that time.
Yeah.
It was like, holy crap, these are guys I've been watching. They inspired, helped. There's a lot of inspiration that went into the channel, but those people were definitely part of the Happy Video Game Nerd. And so to be a part of that site, there were some issues that we kind of had to work out with, I didn't want to I guess go on the channel and forget the YouTube channel. I didn't want to make, I didn't want to potentially lose that audience. So there were some issues that we needed to kind of work out. But we got on board with them and started to be a part of that tight knit group, and that was really super cool because they would do things like go to MacFest.
Yeah, those are awesome.
Yeah,
those are fun videos.
Yeah, and we'd be a part of that. Now looking back and seeing man, I don't think right now if we went to MacFest we'd be like the old men. It would be awkward as hell. But then it was just super cool, and just so being a part of that site. Once we were part of it, it was just kind of surreal in that moment, because here I am, watching these people before the idea of even making videos popped into my head, and now we're a part of the site.
That was I made it feeling.
Yeah, in a way, as cheesy as it may sound.
Well, your goals are your goals too.
Yeah.
People are making it is can be different for each person. What
For
making
sure.
it means to you.
How could you guys are both obviously well-established YouTubers. How come you don't see more of that conglomerate, people coming together like that anymore?
A lot more money's involved these days with YouTube.
Yeah.
So a lot can get real dicey. Companies like Machinima get built up and then they fall, and Rev5 or whatever it was called. A lot of times this stuff does happen. Sometimes they work. There's stuff like Normal Boots and all these, but a lot of times I will say it's been a while since I've seen one just kind of stay true.
Doesn't Screenwave Media, that was kind of their
They do a
initial, I think, was that. And they own Retroware TV now, too.
I think everyone just wants to take as much
Kind of
pie
just
home
do
as they
their
can
own,
at this
everybody's,
Yeah.
kind of doing their own thing.
Retroware is actually they turned it into a video game
They got an awesome game coming.
publisher now.
Yeah.
So, no, they actually, I'm not paid by them by any means, but they actually Prison City actually looks pretty bad.
It does
Oh yeah,
look-
we just talked about
we
that.
were just talking
Don't
about
Billy can't know. Billy can't know.
Hey guys, if you guys haven't got your tickets yet for SoCal Gaming Expo, I'm gonna tell you, for June 8th and June 9th of 2024, I'm telling you right now, please get your tickets. And we're
Nice,
going to
Curtis. I like that. Thank you, Curtis.
Curtis.
Plug it, baby.
All right.